Welcome to the video version of the intro call. This is an option versus booking a call for getting to know me and asking these commonly asked questions. Helps expedite the process because it might be 3 a.m. while you're thinking of this and listening to this. And it might be just a quicker, faster way to start the process. Anyways, let's jump in. What is coaching? Well, coaching is a partnership between myself, the coach, and you, the client. Each session is going to be filled with thought-provoking questions, and it is a creative process that inspires you to maximize your personal, professional life and potential. Okay, so that could be in your relationships, it could be in your career, your business, it could be in, just life itself. What goals, what habits you want to create or break. It can be on so many different levels. We all need support. You see, I've hired people and still hire people to help me improve, to the people that have been down the journey, down the path that I want to go down, but help me maximize my time, my energy, and my money, right? So, even for myself, I get coaching every Thursday and I look forward to it. I know that it keeps me sharp. It allows me to keep navigating life powerfully. I also have a personal training certification and hire a personal trainer from time to time to help me with my blind spots. If you are not willing to learn, no one can help you. If you are determined to learn, no one can stop you. Absolutely love quotes. So this is a Zig Ziglar quote. But as you can see in this image, when it feels impossible, it will be impossible. We won't take action. But when it's made possible with support, you can really make a tremendous impact on your life and your goals. So coaching versus therapy. This is required ethically. If you're a certified trained coach in the United States, it is absolute must in the intro call ethically to describe the difference between coaching and therapy. And this is incredibly generalized. And in my agreement, if you decide to go on to step 2, it does outline it in a greater detail. You see, therapy is healing past events, traumas, things from your past. Okay, so it's really about past focus. And I would say easily 25 to 30% of my clients have a therapist or counselor along with me, right? I have several clients that are actually therapists, and my best friend is too. So therapy, I absolutely believe it has its place. It's definitely somebody you want on your team if you have a lot of healing that needs to be processed from the past. Coaching is a whole different modality. You see, coaches see you as whole and complete and beautiful, knowing that you are a complex human. We understand as coaches that you're made up of all your experiences and choices and habits made up to this point, no doubt. What coaching does is support you to move swiftly and powerfully forward, experiencing life how you want to, okay, versus life pushing and shoving you all over the track. All right. So therapy and counseling is primarily working with the past. Coaching is primarily working with the current and future. So what do you want? What do you want in your life? What is causing you pain? What is keeping you up at night? This is what I want to coach you on. You might be here on this video or wanting to work with a life coach or a happiness coach, myself, and you might have this one big, hairy, ugly weight that's on your shoulders right now, and that might be the topic that you believe that you want to work on only. But I want to throw out there that I want to work with you each coaching session on the one thing that bothers you the most. So today it might be relationships. Tomorrow it might be, I don't know, something about your health. The next time it might be about whatever. It doesn't matter. But to me, it's about working on that thing that's keeping you up at night. We all crave and want to be heard. We all want to feel important. We all want to feel safe. We all want to have someone to talk to that we can trust. We want to work with someone that's non-biased, right? No family, no friends, no one that we work with, someone that points us to a new perspective that empowers us. That is what a coach is. That's what I offer you. I offer you a space and time, whether it be weekly, bi-weekly, once a month, whatever it is for you, that allows you to speak what is on your mind and help you navigate that and help you move forward. My clients tell me over and over and over and over again that they talk to me about things that they can't talk to anybody that they know about. And that's what coaching is. It's offering you safe space. I hold space for you. I give you my undivided attention. So how do you want to feel? Do you want to feel in control of your life? Do you want to feel free? Do you want to be at peace? Do you want to feel important? Do you want to be in love? Are you wanting to define what purpose and meaning is in your life and how to achieve that? Do you want to feel valued? Do you want to feel proud of your life that you're living? Do you want to achieve your goals and then some? How about maybe creating habits or creating a healthier, happier life? I don't know. Whatever it is, let's work together. Let's achieve that. This question, or I guess you would call it a sentence starter, I will be happy when. What follows that? When you say that aloud, I will be happy when. What is that? You see, as a happiness coach, many individuals hire me to get a better understanding of what happiness is for them, right? So they contact me because they need a teammate, someone to help them achieve their goals. That's me. You see, that's the beginning of my journey. I had it all. Everything. Like I started very young. I worked very hard. I sacrificed a lot. I worked my fingers to the bone. I broke my back, quite literally. I've had 2 back surgeries, but I've had it all. I had it all. The sports cars, the fancy cars, that big, beautiful custom house, the bonuses, the trips, the money, the everything. And that's the beginning of my journey. I had it all, and I was at my lowest. You know, it took me many, many, many years to figure out the journey. And I'm going to save you a lot of time. I'm going to save you a lot of years. I'm going to save you a lot of pain in sorting that out quicker, faster, more efficiently. I'll save you a tremendous amount of frustration. So one of the most frequent questions I get in an intro call is how frequently to get coaching? Well, that's subjective to each individual. You know, your purse strings are a factor. You know, what can you afford? Your schedule is a factor too. Does it mesh up well with mine? So how fast do you want results? And how much time do you need to apply? Are you going to be open and curious and actually do what we talk about? Are you going to take time and test things out, reflect and experiment? Are you going to be playful? Are you going to try things? Are you going to be like, are you going to get into action? Okay, so I'm going to talk about the purse strings in just a minute, you know, as far as costs go, but your schedule ideally should mesh up with mine in some fashion or form. Now, the next week might be a little difficult to get in. I just want to forewarn you. Sometimes, depending on the time of the year, it can be 2 or 3 weeks out because, I don't know, the New Year's crowd seems to be a time of year that gets a little difficult to get into my schedule, but it depends. Depends on different years or that's true and others it's not. But I typically block out Wednesdays. That's my day off. And I might block out other blocks of time during the week to make sure that I am full, I am complete, and I'm taking care of my needs to show up for you. But for the most part, my schedule should in some way, fashion, or form mesh with yours. I have weekends open. Weekends are beautiful. They're amazing. Don't be shy. Book when it's convenient for you. How fast do you want the results? Well, obviously everybody wants it now, right? That's the American way. And we'll go into that a little deeper in just a moment. All my coaching is via phone. I used to do Zoom. I used to do all kinds of different videos and this and that, but I coach up to 6 people a day, back to back to back to back. And when technology doesn't work on my end or your end, it really becomes frustrating and it becomes very difficult to shift your appointment around, or then it becomes frustrating for you and me and everybody else. And, I've had random outages for 3-4 days, whether it be power or internet here where I live. So it's really just makes a lot of sense to be on the phone. That way you can show up however you want. You don't have to worry about what you look like. You don't have to stare into the camera, and neither do I. So it's just really, it works out best to be via phone. I can be hands-free. I can really relax. I can be really into the coaching session. So only phone. So what are the steps? Okay, right now we're doing this step number 1. It's really about this intro call, which always is a must. You've got to have either this video or an intro call or both. Maybe you watch this video and you still have a ton more questions. I am going to only spend 15 minutes with you. It's not coaching. It's just answering your questions. It's just whatever it is that you need, but there's no pressure. I don't sell you anything. I don't ask for your credit card during this call at all. So it's step number 1. If you watch this whole video, you've done it. Boom. You can go into step number 2, which is my agreement. My agreement is really articulates all the things that I promised to you. It really is. So I don't call it a contract. I call it an agreement. Most of it states what I promised to you. There are some things in there that I require of you, and that's important to read. But majority of it is explains what coaching is and isn't. Really being clear that I'm not a therapist. There's a very big difference between therapy and coaching. Now, saying that out loud, I want to make sure that you understand that if you do need to tell me something about the past, I absolutely will take that information. That's very helpful and necessary. But I will swiftly move you to the current moment and help you navigate forward. That's what coaching is. But the agreement tells you that I'll show up on time. I'm going to give you my undivided attention. I'm going to take notes with you. It asked you not to take notes. It asked you to not be driving, writing, doing dishes, walking the dog, nothing. Be sitting still. For a coaching session to be very powerful, it's really setting aside time, the 30 or 60 minutes, every single time we have a session, and giving me your undivided attention. You will find it to be way more powerful. You'll gain so much more when you really command your mind to really listen to everything that we discuss in our call. Okay, so that's the agreement. Number 3 is purchase the packages. I'll go over that in just a minute. And then the final step is booking your sessions in the calendar. So it's real simple. So if this video is not enough for you, again, you can book a free, one time only, chance to have a 15-minute conversation with me. Again, I'm not doing any coaching. I'm not giving you any tips. I'm not anything. It's just answering your questions. Just make sure that you click on that button, pick a date and time that works for you. And I'll call you during our designated time. So you want to expedite the process. Like I said, you can now, once you watch this video, you can skip step number 1 and go right to the agreement. So price is at the top. It's under working together, and which I'm kind of keep showing you on the screen is number 3. You can click on the link to available packages. It's going to look similar to this. This is only a small fraction of the packages. There's multiple. And the lowest price point is the commitment level. That's 5 sessions. Currently, as I'm recording this, it's $225 for 5 sessions, which equals $45 a session, which is cheap. I don't know that you're going to find it out there any cheaper. If you do, great. Just, whatever, just make sure that they're a good fit for you. That's all I'm going to say. But this is the lowest price point is $225 to work with me. So the framework, something to be very aware of. I know with our busy lifestyles that a lot of my clients absolutely love 30-minute sessions. My coaching is 30 minutes, but you know what? I'm a coach, and my coach has about 12 years experience on top of mine. So we can talk about 4 or 5 topics in 30 minutes, but we understand coaching. We understand that a bunch of storytelling and a bunch of context really is irrelevant. So we get right to the heart of coaching, and we do laser coaching. And some of my clients that have been with me for years understands this concept. Some of them do, some of them don't, honestly. Some of my clients love to talk, and that's fine. That's their style, and that's what they want from me, and I get that. But if you are a really chatty person and you feel like it's really important for me to know a bunch of details, again, I don't, but if you really feel that, then you're going to really need to stick to the 60-minute coaching sessions, period. I have several of my clients that they are only allowed to book 60-minute coaching sessions because they can't stay within a 30-minute coaching session. Okay, so how it works is right out the gate when I first call you, I'm going to ask you a question of the day. There's a lot of reasons why I ask that question. One of the reasons is to get to know you a little bit better, and the answers are there's never a wrong answer. All your answers are amazing and incredible and very informative. It kind of gives me an insight and a peek at your world and what's on your mind. But it also helps you shift from what I call the day-to-day left brain dominant thinking to right brain open and curious coaching brain. Typically when I ask the question, the first response are usually giggles or chuckles or, oh my gosh, that's such a good question. Let me think. So these usually take about 2 minutes, and I suggest keeping your answer within the 2 minutes. I have some clients, again, that are my 60-minute clients that like to go into a 15-minute dialogue. But truly, if you want the most out of your session, keep your answers short and precise. Then you have about 2 minutes to explain your subject, topic, and your question. Okay, so really have the subject, topic, oops, I kind of went flying there. Have your subject, topic, and question ready before I call you. Okay, and I'll explain why here in just a second. So have these things ready. So the subject would be what the overarching, right? The relationships. I want to talk about relationships. The topic is maybe I have this challenging relationship with my partner. And the question is, it might be a challenging relationship with my partner, John or Susie, whatever. Be somewhat specific. And then the question is, how do I have a really serious conversation about us moving, right? So that's maybe 2 minutes, right? Maybe even less. Then you can give me context or story surrounding the fact that you want to move and you want to have this conversation. Give me context and stories. I'm giving you about 5 minutes there. I'm not keeping a timer on any of this, by the way. I'm not saying, oh, you're 2 minutes up, you're 5 minutes up. It's very flowy. It's very much a natural conversation. I'm just pointing out to you how much time we have. So you can clearly know, am I a 30-minute client or am I a 60-minute client? and what do you want? What are you really wanting to achieve? So then we have 19 minutes of coaching. And what coaching is I might ask more questions about the context and story so I can understand a little bit more, dig a little bit more, and ask powerful questions. Sometimes stories. And I will ask permission to give you any stories. Stories might be my own personal stories or stories that I've collected over the years that may pertain to your situation that might give you a new perspective. But coaching is very intuitive, so there's no framework on that. It's very much from my heart and my soul, what I feel you need to hear or answer in that moment that will give you a new insight, new wisdom that's already inside of you, but it's just covered up by oftentimes a lot of excess thinking and worry and stress and anxiety and all the things, right? So there's always a 2-minute close. What did you hear? Or what did you learn? What stood out? It's some question like that. I always change it because it's just fun. Because I don't want it to sound scripted, and it never is. So I really like to be playful. But what your answer is in this 2-minute close is really, really important. That is what I'm going to email you. Okay. So remember, one of my agreements is I'm going to take notes for you and I'm going to send you an email. So what you say is really important. There's many reasons why this is important. When you say it out loud, when you regurgitate it into your own words, you're actually concreting it into your brain. You're actually feeding your mind what it is that you understood, what you heard, what action you're going to take moving forward. Okay. So when we say things out loud, we're feeding our brain. Our brain is like an algorithm. When you feed your brain what you want, what you're going to do, what you're going to take action on, it sets it into motion. Okay. So this is really, really important. And again, I'm going to send you an email based on that answer. So as you see, a 30-minute coaching is really quick, really fast. And, if any of these last longer than 2 and 5 minutes, that eats away in the coaching. So if you don't have your question ready, you don't have your subject ready, it really doesn't give us much time to play. And this is where the gold is, okay? 60-minute coaching session. I keep moving past that screen. I'm sorry. So 60 minutes, same thing. Although, you could have 2 minutes of reflection or story. Maybe it's success since our last session. This is very optional, not necessary. You can email this to me. You don't have to use up your valuable time with me. But it's the same concept. You can maybe even spend a little bit more time on the context and story, but you see, I put 47 minutes. I put most of it in the coaching because that's where the power is. That's where the gold is. So again, if there's too much context, too much storytelling, it will detract from our coaching time. That's the only place to pull from. I really don't need a lot of details. Oftentimes when we get a lot of details as coaches and a lot of story time, it just is muddying the water. It's creating more thinking. It almost goes into therapy, right? It goes into talk therapy, and that's not what I'm offering here. It's not what coaching is. It's not talk therapy. It really is a dance, right? You give me some context, just a little bit of information, allow me to ask questions, and then you answer it. It really is a dance. So if you allow that flow, you'll find, and you answer my questions concisely, not going into big tangents and going down big, long paths that lead to another path, to another path, to another topic. Okay, that's too much information. A lot of my advanced clients that have been with me for years, they've had 10 plus coaching sessions, knows and understands that we are operating in the left brain. My question of the day should open up the right side of your brain just slightly, and I'll explain what that is here in a second. But really, when you're in the explain the subject, topic, and question, your left brain dominant, along with the context and the story. And what this is more of like logical brain, right? Problem focus. This is fear-based feeling, this is what's going on. This is what's wrong with my life. This is what's happening. This is why I feel the way I feel. This is what problem it's just really problem focused. Coaching, I'm going to shift you into right brain activation. That's where the gold is. That's where we're going to find the answers and clues on how to move you forward. So it's really, really important, this framework, to kind of see it in writing. This might help you in determining, do I want 30 minutes or 60 minutes? Now, some of my clients can only afford the 30-minute sessions because they want more frequency, which I fully agree with that. More frequent coaching is way more powerful. Like I said, I get my coaching every single week, and I can whip through 1 to 5 topics, but I understand coaching. I don't give a lot of context. I don't give a lot of storytelling. I keep it short and sweet. So to book your sessions, again, that same link, depending on what you purchase, is a 30-minute or 60 minutes, okay? When you book your session, you're going to get an email right away. Make sure you add it to your Google Calendar, your Outlook, or iCalendar, whatever it is you use. Put it in your calendar. You don't want to forget this. Why? Because you can't cancel within 24 hours. If you do, you lose that appointment or you lose that session, right? So if you book 5 sessions and you don't show up, or you want to cancel within 24 hours, you can, but you're losing that one session. So now you have 4 sessions instead of 5. Okay, because that holds a space. I rearrange my life to make sure that I'm here and hold you accountable, and in 24 hours or less, then I'm not able to make changes or plans, or my clients can't book that time either. So it's just part of my agreement. All right, so next step. If you have Spotify, if you love podcasts, which I do, I truly love podcasts. I love making them for you guys, but I also have some of my favorite people that I admire, my mentors that have their own channels, and I love Spotify. I like to throw in my headphones and clean or do yard work, or sometimes at the gym. I listen to podcasts, or in the car. So I listen to podcasts way over music. I want to feed my brain with more valuable information and continue to learn and grow for you and me. But anyways, I have started a podcast channel. This is my second one. I had one years ago, but it had a very, very different vibe, very different feel. So I started all over again. It's only on Spotify. Okay. So the Diary of a Happiness Coach. Feel free to, I don't know why this is on here. It's free. So I don't know why that's on there. I think that you can add ads, but I don't want ads on my podcast for various reasons, for obvious reasons. Anyways, please, to get to know me better, hear from me. You're also, especially once you start working with me and you start listening to these, you're going to hear some of the tips and tricks that I use in my coaching session. Obviously not all of them, but some common stuff going on in there. And I'd really love your support in playing these, but also learning from them. I also have a community. So it's like social media, but it's not social media, right? It's not on Facebook. It's not on any of the social platforms. It's my own community. It's my own support for you. So there's daily coaching questions. Engage, answer my questions. I absolutely love and adore the notifications I get when my clients or your future clients go in there and engage and ask questions. I absolutely love it, or answer my questions. So there's always a daily question. There's videos, old videos, new videos. There's so much stuff in there. But it is protected. You have to give me your email, which if you're watching this, you probably may have already given me your email, which is not a big deal. I don't send very many emails, so be aware of that. And every email I send is intentional. But yeah, this community is amazing and incredible. I absolutely love it. It's growing, it's building slowly, organically, and so much more to come. I'm super excited with the future of that. All right, so additional tips. Coaching is working on things within your control. So what is within your control? Those things that you can, whatever you can think, feel, and do, right, is the best way to say that. So the question for your session, have it formulated before we get into a coaching call. It must be something coachable, something within your control, okay? So one that isn't within your control is, how do I make my boss talk to me nicer? Maybe it's your spouse, maybe it's your partner, maybe it's your child, maybe, you can't force anyone to talk to you any certain way. That's not within your control, okay? Maybe your question is, how do I keep all my benefits at work and work less than my requirement? That sounds like something you need to talk to your boss or human resource or something else. Like, that's not coachable, okay? So we want to work on things that are within your control. Those things that you think, feel, and act, right? The things that you're thinking, the things that you're feeling, and the actions that you want to take moving forward. Those are things within your control. These are coachable. So something that's coachable is, how do I enjoy my work and communicate healthily with my boss and coworkers, right? So that's a good question. It should be a question mark right there. This is one of a million different examples, but something within your control, right? How can I make my experience at work more enjoyable? How can I love my job? How can I love my body and lose weight at the same time? I don't know. Whatever it is, it needs to be within your control. Okay, so keep the context of your stories brief. I can't stress this enough. It may seem like I need a lot of details and backstory, but I don't. If I need more information, I will ask. It helps to keep the answers short and concise without a lot of fluff. Okay, especially when you have a 30-minute session. Excessive information is going to eat up our valuable coaching time. That's where the golden nuggets are, and it lowers the impact of what will be discovered. Okay. Oftentimes, those that are struggling with life are that's what they're doing. They're overthinking, overanalyzing, and they're playing over and over and over and over and over again past hurts and feelings and stories and stuff like that. And that's the issue. So keep your answers short, okay? Or consider moving to 1-hour sessions, okay? So, some of my clients have lots of years in therapy, and they have a habit, new clients anyways, have a habit of thinking that I need a whole bunch of context. I don't. Coaching, you'll see, if you've never had coaching before, you'll see it's so incredibly powerful, even with little context or stories. I touched on this a little bit earlier about low state versus high state. I didn't word it that way. I call it different things, but that's left brain and right brain. But what will elevate your coaching session is by being in a low state just a few moments, right? So low state would be in that problem focused, right? This is my problem. These are what's happening to me. This is what I don't want to have happen in my life. Woe's me. We just want to be there for a few minutes. Okay, that's just in the topic, question, context area. That's it. The rest of the session is we want to shift you to a high state. We want to shift you to right brain activation. Okay. Oftentimes in our world, in our jobs, in our society, we're left brain dominant, right? We're constantly in this fear-based survival mind, like, putting out fires and dealing with problems and challenges and struggling, right? But that's not where we're going to find clarity. So that's why we set aside this time, the 30 or 60 minutes. And believe me, when you realize that in a coaching session and you shift to right brain activation or a high state, it's like I'm kind of giving you a hug through the phone. That's why it's so important when you book these sessions to be in a safe space, somewhere with no distractions, nothing triggering you, nothing upsetting you. Just be in a space that's very quiet, peaceful. If ideally something that looks like a spa, but honestly, most of my clients are in their car with the windows up, the doors closed, their seat pushed back, their eyes closed, and they're just relaxed. That's because it's away from everybody and everything. But, I've had many sessions with clients in parks. The only caveat to that is sometimes we've had some wild interruptions with dogs and different things, but, try to be in a place that, a safe place that's incredibly quiet, that you can have a deep, deep, deep conversation with me, because we find solutions, we find clarity, we find answers for you when you're in a state of relaxation. Okay. So your environment, when you book these calls, is really, really important. Be in a place that you feel safe, calm, no distractions, or comfortable. It's being relaxed. It's not writing. You can't listen and write. It's coming to each session with being open and curious. I just realized I have a spelling error there. Being open and curious of what you're going to discover. It's being willing to experiment and play. It's not thinking. If your mind is filled with rules and assumptions and hurts and failures and doom and gloom and pressures and all this stuff, we're not going to find the answers. It's going to be coaching you're going to find is going to be really a slow burn. It's going to be a slow process. But if you come open, relaxed, curious, it's like a blank canvas that we'll be painting together during our coaching time. So it's really, really important to block out time and space for yourself, right? Coaching to me is self-care. Coaching is really taking care of you. Okay. And as I stated in the last one, a busy mind has no solutions. Never. Never, never, never. When we're fixated on the past, or we're ruminating on the past or people or things or exterior things, mistakes, any negative feelings, it's not helpful. It will not provide you with a powerful coaching session. You might blame me, but the reality is you've got to take some ownership on this. All right? Because when we're saying over and over and over and over and over again out loud and thinking over and over and over again about our problems, it's like listening to a song over and over and over and over again. The wheels on the bus go round and round, and it's going to be stuck in your brain, and you're going to keep getting the same results, right? It's just like your brain is like a computer algorithm. If you keep saying it, you keep thinking it, you're going to keep feeding your life full of this negativity, and you're going to keep having the same patterns in your life. So it's about listening and being open and curious during our coaching sessions. If you're listening to the same thing over and over again, it's almost like hypnosis, right? It's concreting that narrative in your mind, generating that feeling, which creates an action that overflows into how you show up with your energy and your actions in your life. So we're going to feed your brain new information. We're going to retrain your brain. We're going to command your mind to work for you, not against you. What we feed our minds shapes our perceptions, and our perceptions shape our reality. Again, I love quotes. So what to learn and grow and develop a stronger self-command muscle is something that I do throughout our coaching sessions. So I do highly recommend take your saboteur assessment. You'll know what this is when you first sign up with me and you book your sessions. I'll send out an email with the link to that. We'll figure out what your saboteurs are, but also find out what your strengths are. This is going to allow me to coach you quicker, faster, and get to solutions much, much faster when I understand that. But what I do, one of many tools that I use is help generate self-command muscles in your mind. I'm going to have some free workshops coming soon that you'll be able to understand your saboteur assessment and how to build the muscle or command your mind to be more in balance, meaning left brain and right brain. We want a balance of the two. So I'm going to teach you through coaching how to balance out your thoughts, how and what to say, and turning your awareness up in your consciousness. Okay. So one of the other things that I do in my coaching is help you understand how the mind, thought, and consciousness all work together, creating a life that you want. Okay. So rather than being in the past or worrying about the future during our coaching sessions, I want you to be in the moment. Clear your mind. Again, a busy mind has no solutions, period. Continually keep a list of coaching topics. So that way, 5-10 minutes before I call you, you can grab your notepad or grab your phone. This is what I do. I have a notepad right by my computer with a long list that's ongoing. Every time I find some resistance in my life or have an interaction with someone, I'm like, man, I want that to go smoother next time. Why did that happen? If it just I always hit my ceiling and go, okay, I need to write that down and I need to get coaching around that. So, but more often than not, when my coaching session comes, there's something that's really big on my mind, and that's usually what I get coaching on. But once in a while, I need to resort to that list. So have a coaching list on your phone, on a piece of paper that you can resort to so you're not stuck going, oh man, what do I want coaching on today? How do I choose? But pick one, okay? I can only coach you on one. Unless we've been working together for a long time. I have very few clients. I think I only have maybe 2 paying clients. I have a couple of coach friends that we share coaching, meaning I'll do 30 minutes, you do 30 minutes. But, paying clients, I only have a couple that can do more than one topic in a coaching time, and they are 60-minute clients. But I want to work with the biggest, hairiest, ugliest one that's keeping you up at night, the thing that's consuming your mental energy. Okay, so that's the one I want to work with you on because that's going to have an impact. When a rising tide lifts all boats is a quote that kind of correlates, meaning when we work on that thing that really keeps you up at night, it will help improve the rest of your life, right? The other things that are going on in your world. Coaching is unlocking your full potential to maximize your performance. Okay, ongoing coaching empowers you to make courageous decisions about your life, work, relationships, and more. 1,000%. You're going to stop guessing yourself. You're going to stop letting fear stop you. You're going to stop letting others that feelings, thoughts, concerns about you stop you. It's going to totally shift your entire life. It's incredible. It's powerful. And with you doing it consistently and regularly with one coach, you will see how powerful it is. It is incredibly powerful. The sooner you get brave and get coaching around the bigger issues, the faster the momentum will go. It's really deeply coming to each session, trusting the process and letting go of all your fears and just diving in. It really is powerful, I promise you. So let's create balance in your life, love, work, health, fitness, whatever it is, okay? As you see a picture of me, remember, I'm not a mentor, right? I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm not going to tell you this is what I would do. I'm not a counselor. I'm not going to wallow around in the past and repair your past hurts and, process traumas or events. I'm not a therapist. Okay, so we're not going to dig into your past. We're going to focus on where you are now and help you move forward. So think of me as your thinking partner. By asking deep questions, this will lead you to analyze your patterns, notice, things, cycles, thoughts, beliefs, stories, maybe rules, maybe cultural beliefs that maybe are outdated. maybe some behaviors or limits or beliefs that are keeping you stuck. I'm going to offer you a whole new perspective. It's going to be incredible. And you're going to see things in a whole new way that are going to help you move forward, and you will achieve your goals, all new goals. And it's so fun to witness that with my clients. I've witnessed clients write books and do amazing, incredible things on projects. I've had so many of my new clients after 1 session to 10 sessions just completely change their entire life. Like literally move, sell everything and move to a different country, a different town, a different state. And it's just like, they're like, that was what I needed. Like I was just felt so trapped and burdened and just fearful that I wasn't able to make decisions on how I wanted to live my life. And now I feel free. So my clients tell me they always feel happier, at more ease. They're stopped struggling because there's no need. It really is. There's no need. They become more resilient. They learn how to become more present and connect with those around them. They learn how to command their mind to work for them and not against them, right? I'm going to help you with your understanding of how your mind, thought, and consciousness works. I kind of talked about that briefly earlier. But anyways, we're going to continue to work on whatever you want to work on, whatever topic you want to work on. And I do encourage you to go into the community, just block out 5 minutes, whether it be at the beginning of the day, at the end of the day, go into my community that's designed for you, that has one daily question and others. You can go back to old ones. You can go to new ones. You can answer 1 or 2 questions every day. Will continue to help you grow. Okay. Help you learn, help build the right brain activation so you can have a more freeing, more happy life. I wanted to touch on this reflective understanding. So coaching allows you to go deeper. So what is reflection? Reflection is a type of thinking associated with deep thought. It's aimed to help you achieve a better understanding of your reality. Okay, so it will help you make sense why you're experiencing life the way you are before you meet me. And it'll help you understand how situations you keep getting yourself into get created. Okay, so it's going to help you gain a better understanding of your reality, including looking at it from different viewpoints, perspectives, opinions. You're going to open up your mind like a curious 5-year-old, if you're willing. And hopefully you are, since you're this far. But it's about standing back and dedicating time and space with me through coaching. This is going to give you the support, and I will encourage you to be reflective and look at things from a solution mindset, looking at things from a different way of being, right? Because if we're sped up, we're overthinking, overanalyzing, we're stressed out, we're anxious, all these different things, that is left brain dominant. I am going to help open up the right side of your brain and give you a whole new reality, right? It's still there. It's there every day, but it's just with our busy lives commanding us to provide, make more money, do more, this fast-paced world, our right brain is becoming dormant. It's not being used. And I'm going to help you, show you how to easily do that. So through coaching, you're going to gain clarity. I'm going to help you understand what matters to you, what's most important if you don't already know. And I'm going to help you make sense of that mental clutter, right, that's going on, and give you a better understanding of how to go forward with your life powerfully. So we're going to do reflection in sessions, especially if you do 60-minute sessions, 30-minute sessions. There's not a lot of that, as it kind of showed in that outline. But as you move forward, the more sessions you have with me, there will be time and space for that. And you will notice it, and you will probably email me, which allows, you can definitely email your reflections with me when you have these aha moments, because the most power is not during the session, it's after the session. When you see things unfold in real time in your real life and you go, oh, that's what Catherine was talking about. It's happening right now. I can see it. That's when you don't have to send me an email in that moment, but you can send me an email that day or that next day and say, hey, you're not going to believe what happened to me yesterday, and just share. I love the stories. Okay. So like I said, your coaching sessions, you're going to learn a ton of things, but it's in between the sessions that you're going to gain new ideas and see things differently. The learning will continue ongoing. This is a journey. This is an unpacking. It's a lifelong journey. Not to say you're going to need me for your lifetime, though that would be wonderful and beautiful, but it's really about me sending you an email of your notes and maybe creating a file, saving it, right? Obviously read it, so you can hear and repeat what I told you during your sessions. Again, retain it, right? And keep those emails and reread them over and over again, days, weeks, months later, maybe even years later. Because what you'll read today will be like, oh, yeah, okay, I hear it. I hear great insights right there. But you'll read it again in a week or a month, and you're going to hear something different. You're going to see something different. It's going to land differently as you grow. You're going to gain new things. Every time you read something, especially my emails, you're going to take away something new. So very much valuable, those emails that I'm going to send you. And just a heads up on that too, if you're my last client of the day, sometimes I will ask permission to send the email on the next day, because I don't like to slam out these emails. I like to really put a lot of thought and care into them. So just a little heads up. So where do you do your best thinking? I kind of touched on this earlier, and kind of slowly I put this in the slide that, for me anyways, my best thinking is in the shower or the bath. Sometimes it's on walks or hikes. I have clients tell me while they're driving, maybe writing or journaling. But, I say all this to point out it's really incredibly important during your session that you're in an environment that is conducive for deep thought. Right? So it doesn't need to be at your desk with bills piling up and notes and clutter and busyness. It needs to be in a space that you feel safe and it's quiet and elegant and like a spa if you can, or your car. So let's get into action, right? You can read how to ride a bike, right? You can take YouTubes, you can go to conferences, you can take courses, you can get books on how to read. But obviously, you've got to get physically on the bike. Okay, so what I mean by that is during coaching, I'm basically your book, your conference, your YouTube. I'm giving you lots of information, but you have to see in your own life what I'm pointing you to. It's learning how to ride a bike. It's doing the skills and practicing in your own life. Coaching is the exact same thing. So each session, you're going to take away some concept. You're going to take away some insight. You're going to learn something and apply it to your life. You're going to see it. You're going to feel it. You're going to experience it. That's how we open up the right side of your brain. That's how you open up and see things completely differently. And this is how you're going to learn it for a lifetime and never forget it. Okay. I have loads and loads of my own stories. In fact, I'm going to write a book about it, and hopefully one day I'll be announcing that to you, and you'll buy it or not. But anyways, I have loads and loads of my own stories that are just amazing and incredible, and I will share some of those with you with your permission when I see fit, and through podcasts as well. So another reason to listen to those. But when you see what I point to, the understanding that I'm going to point you to in your own life, seeing it unfold in your own world, it's going to completely change your reality and how you're experiencing life. And you're going to smash your goals, and you're going to experience life from the inside out. You're going to experience it from a way that you'll be glad, you'll be proud. You're going to see that this is an incredible investment that you'll have zero regrets to doing. So I believe in coaching deeply. And again, if you feel like this just is not enough information and you want to book a 15-minute session or call with me, again, no coaching, no advice, just to ask questions, please feel free to do so. Anyways, I'm signing out. Coach Catherine. or I like to call myself a happiness coach. So let's define what happiness is for you, and I'll help you achieve it. All right. I'll see you soon.